Bumper plates, also commonly called bumpers, are special weight plates constructed of a steel/iron core wrapped in a dense rubber coat. They're built to balance and prevent damage to your floor, your barbell, and of course, your plates. So in today's guide, I'm gonna go over the pros and cons of bumper plates, bumper versus Olympic plates, and more. Let's get started. Bumper plates have a bunch of positive and negatives, just like anything. And like all things that I recommend, you need to determine whether the pros outweigh the cons for your own situation. If you only do some powerlifting and bodybuilding training, you really don't have a need for competition bumper plates. So I would say they're probably not a good idea for you. That being said, let's go over the pros and cons now. The first one that everyone talks about is that they're quieter. Bumper plates are just going to be a lot quieter than iron plates. They absorb impact when you drop them, so they're not going to sound like an explosion going off like iron plates. They are also not going to clang and bang either, so if you want to be as quiet as possible, bumper plates work well for this. Less damage to your bar and platform. Since bumpers absorb the impact, less of that impact is going to affect your barbell collars. But if you plan on doing the Olympic lifts, bumper plates are a must. Plus, using bumpers is going to prevent damage to your platform as well. This is actually a solid reason to go with bumper plates if you can afford them. Bumpers absorb force much better than iron plates. Plus, because of what they're constructed of, they have to be more durable to handle the abuse thrown at them. The better the quality of your plates, the less they're going to bounce overall. You definitely want this, as sometimes one side bounces higher than the other and it can smack you in your shins. I'm talking from experience here, trust me. Rust is definitely an issue with iron plates. With bumper plates, they aren't completely constructed of iron, so they aren't really going to rust much at all. If you go with training bumpers instead of competition, they definitely aren't going to rust as they only have an iron insert instead of that core. Obviously, with all the cooler features that bumper plates have, there's got to be a catch. That catch is the price. Sure, if you buy cheaper high-temp plates, they're going to be priced similarly to iron plates, but you're going to have a ton of other issues with them, as you'll soon find out. If you don't want those issues, you'll need competition or at least some training bumpers, which are more expensive, simple as that. Since they're made mostly of rubber, a lot of them are going to have a strong rubbery chemical smell. I'm sure there are things you can use to make the smell go away, but some people get severe headaches from this. Just something to consider. I'm sure you've seen tons of pictures and videos of people lifting with massive bumpers and make it look like the person is lifting a ton of weight, right? But then in reality, it's like 225 on the deadlift, which still is an impressive lift for many people, but it looks like a lot more with those wider bumpers. If all you have is those types of plates, it's going to be difficult to lift heavier weights when you literally can't add any more plates to the bar. Again, this is more a problem with cheaper bumpers rather than bumpers overall. However, some of them have a ton of bounce and they're going to destroy your shins if you're not expecting the massive rebound they have. Something to be aware of if you get cheaper plates is that they will try to kill you occasionally. I'm talking from experience once again, but the first bumpers I got were the cheapo recycled bumper plates from Sports Authority. No joke, these crumpled and started cracking from just a single training session. Just save yourself the headache though and invest in some higher quality and more durable plates. It's going to be a much better idea and even save you some money in the long haul. There's a variety of differences between bumper and Olympic plates. The biggest ones are the feel, durability, the sound they make, and even how they smell. Overall though, depending on which types of plates you decide to get, come down to three major factors. The price, if you plan on Olympic lifting, and of course the diameter and width of the plates. The price is easy to figure out. If you have a massive budget and don't need to worry about money, just get the highest quality bumper plates you can and call it a day. They're going to last longer, they don't require much maintenance, and you can throw them around without any worries. Plus, if you train early in the morning and don't want to wake up your family or neighbors, bumpers are just going to be much quieter than iron plates. On the flip side, if you have a much smaller budget and want to maximize the investment you're making, just get the iron plates. They're a great deal cheaper and they're still going to be very durable as long as you're not throwing them from overhead positions. I crunched the numbers of Rogue, Rep, Titan, and various other equipment manufacturers for their average cost per pound for their bumpers as well as their iron plates. What I found is that on average, training bumpers are only around 3.34% more expensive, while competition bumpers are around 27.1% more expensive. That's definitely a huge difference, so I really recommend you just get the training bumpers if you must. This is something you have to ask yourself if you decide to get some bumper plates for your home gym. If you just want to do powerlifting and bodybuilding movements, you don't need bumper plates. Bottom line. Are they nice to have? Sure. Do they look awesome? Absolutely. But if you aren't Olympic lifting regularly and you want to just buy more weight overall, iron plates are for you. This is another thing you have to consider with bumper plates. They're a great deal wider and the diameter is greater than typical iron plates. The coolest thing about bumper plates is that the diameter is going to be the same for almost all of them. As long as you buy from the same company, every plate from 10 pounds up to 55 pounds is going to have the exact same circumference. The cool thing about this is that if you're new to the deadlift or Olympic lifts, you can start with two 10-pound bumpers on the bar from the same height as a bigger 45-pound iron plate. This is a tremendous benefit that removes the headache of pulling from blocks or a rack to make sure the starting position with weights under 135 pounds is the same. Plus, since they're all the same diameter, they have a wider surface area over the entire collar, which makes dropping them even safer. As for the width, this is where things get a little difficult. The heavier the weight is, the thicker it's going to be. And this is especially true for bumpers. Here are Rogue's pound competition plates for reference. In comparison, some of Rogue's high-temp bumpers are as follows. As you can see, these are a great deal thicker by a lot. The biggest reason you need to pay attention to this is that they take up a ton of space on the bar. A couple of Rogue's high-temp plates and your bar might already be completely full of plates. That's why it's important to check the specs of the plates you decide to get. With that said, I turn it over to you. What do you think of bumper plates after watching this video? Do you plan on getting some regular training bumpers or some more expensive competition ones? Regardless, let me know what you think in the comment section below right now. Check out this video next if you're interested in more equipment guides.